Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining Let's Talk with Shayna. I'm Shayna, and today we're going to be talking about dull hair and what you can do to really improve that dull hair. But just for watching today's video, we do have a 10% discount code that you can use on your entire order. So for that, you are going to want to make sure to put in the discount code box at your checkout, all capital letters, no spaces, WOW Shay, the number 10. Now, with this actually being a Q&A video, please make sure to leave your comments, questions, concerns in the comments below, and we will get to those throughout the video today. Now, we all know that it can be super duper tiring to have dull or dry hair because you really just want to get it back to its bright young self. But don't worry, you're not alone. Dull hair is actually super, super common and it can be unmanageable for some people. To be honest, I'm someone who has super, super dull hair. And I can tell you this because we're going to go through the checklist of what makes dull hair later, and you're going to see I have all of it right here in front of you. But luckily, I've gone through the process of finding a lot of hair care products with BuyWOW that help my dull hair. So, as I just mentioned, once you know what the right stuff are to use on your hair, it can be super duper easy to get your hair back to the shiny, revitalized state that it once was. So first off, let's talk about what even is dull hair. So most dull hair is dry or rough. It can get super frizzy. It can be kind of heavy and super difficult to get to cooperate. So you might not know this, but I've found my own hair care regimen to make it so that my hair doesn't have all of those things, but naturally it really does. And as I've worked through my BuyWOW hair care routine, it has really decreased how frizzy, heavy, dry, and non-cooperative my hair is. Now, you might think that the next best thing is to load your hair up with serums, oils, conditioners, but to be honest, that can make it worse. A lot of dull hair is actually the result of buildup. So you could be using too much styling products. You could be someone who just has excessive natural buildup. You could be showering with hard or unfiltered water, or you just might not be rinsing your shampoo and conditioner out as well as you might think. Now, if that doesn't sound like you, there are some other things that could be causing dull hair, like over processing your hair. So that could be through box dyeing it, or worse, you could be box bleaching it, using too much heat styling, and sometimes it can honestly just be from like your environment and your weather. Now, do please remember to leave any questions that you have, even if you just want to say hello. I love hearing your hellos in the comments, but make sure to leave all of that below so that we can get to your questions and concerns today. And who knows, maybe someone else who is a little bit too shy to ask also has the same question or concern as you. Alrighty, now I know a lot of the time the things that come with dull hair also are the things that come with dry hair, but they actually are a little bit different. Dry tends to be more natural and it comes just you're someone who naturally has dry hair, but dull does have causes and in turn remedies. So they often do overlap with a lot of the signs, but there are differences to the causes and in turn the fixes. So let's talk a little bit about dry hair real quick. So it does tend to look dull as well, but the difference is rather than it being like a product buildup, it's needing more hydration. So dry hair usually is really rough to touch. It can be kind of crispy, specifically at the ends. The ends might be splitting. It gets tangled really easily, or it could have really low elasticity. So basically the way you can test your hair's elasticity is having a strand of hair and pulling it until it breaks. And if it breaks without a lot of tension, like you've barely put any stress on that strand of hair and it breaks, that could mean that you have a lower elasticity in your hair. Now, this can occur for a lot of the same reasons as dull hair, such as like using too much heat, color treatments, but one that is a little bit different is things like swimming in chlorine water, and it's not necessarily related back to that product or natural buildup. Now, Some bodies, they simply just don't produce enough natural oils to spread through the hair, so it does need that extra help with a moisture controlled regimen for specifically dry hair. Now, dull hair might produce enough oil and just might be contributing to the problem itself by clogging your hair follicles. Now, I do just want to check real quick to see if we have any comments yet, any questions. Let's see, let's see. All right, now don't forget to get that 10% discount code off of your entire order. We want to make sure that everyone is getting a nice deal on their orders. Okay, let's see, let's see. Okay, so it doesn't look like we have any questions quite yet. But I do see a lot of people are watching, so I just want to say hello to everyone out there. And definitely make sure to leave your questions because I really want to make sure that we can get to everyone. I see a few different people. We have a Courtney in the audience today. Hello, Courtney. And a Mary. Hello, everybody. We have a Trina, Christina, Terry, Brittany. Hello, everybody. Definitely make sure to leave your comments below, questions, specifically because if there's anyone else that might have the same thing and just not feel like they can ask it or might not know the right wording to ask questions. But today is a Q&A, so I do want to make sure that I can get to your Q's so that I can give you an A. Alrighty, now let's continue on with today's content. Now that we know the differences between dry and dull hair, what are some remedies for the two of them? So I do know I mentioned a little bit about dry hair. Typically, it is just adding a little bit of moisture to your hair care regimen. So whether that be adding a hair oil, a hair mask or something like that. But when it comes to dull hair, you really want to make sure you are investing in high quality products. So these products, you want to make sure that they are really good at cleaning your hair right down deep. So there's simply just that factor that you're not getting some cheap dollar store shampoo. But you also want to make sure that you're staying away from chemical based products. Now, our products, they are vegan, they are natural based ingredients in those shampoos and conditioners. So they are really good, high quality products. So BuyWOW is a really great place to start for these products here, making sure that you're staying away from chemicals to add onto your hair. Now, you do also want to make sure that you're considering your hair type when deciding which products to go with. Now, we do have a hair care quiz in our FAQs on the website. And if you're watching this on our website directly, we do have a link on the side there to get you to that hair care quiz. And for that, it is going to ask you questions regarding like your hair type, your environment, your lifestyle. Like if you're someone who needs to be washing your hair every day, you might use a different shampoo than someone who washes their hair once a week. So that's honestly one of the best first starters, is making sure that you have the right hair care products for your hair type. Now, I would be happy to make some recommendations if people want to leave what kind of hair type they have below. But if you want a more personalized recommendation, I would definitely recommend trying out that hair care quiz in our frequently asked questions on our website. Now, one thing that a lot of people do forget about in their dull hair care routine is to have a shampoo that is primarily for like detoxing your hair. So we have two different options for that. So we have the apple cider vinegar shampoo as well as the activated charcoal and keratin shampoo. Both of those shampoos are specifically designed to help detox your hair. But if you're someone who still needs that moisture control in your hair care routine, use these as a detox treatment rather than your main shampoo. So these are ones that you would put aside, and then maybe like once a week you would pull them into your hair care routine. Now, I do see that we might have a question here. Okay. Oh, yeah. So as I mentioned here, I would definitely be super, super happy to talk about what daily uses, weekly uses for different products. But once again, it truly does based off of what your hair type is. So Terry, I see that you left a comment here saying that you're excited to hear the step-by-step recommendations slash product uses, like what to do on daily or weekly. So it honestly, it does depend on your hair type. Like I've seen people who have really, really dry, thick, curly hair, and those people they're going to need more of a moisture treatment more than likely, but then once a week they could be doing that detox, and then they might need like a deep condition such as like a hair oil after every wash, or they might need it 2 to 3 times a week rather than once a week. But if you're someone like me who has more straight hair and it's easily weighed down, you're going to be wanting to do probably a deep moisture treatment like once a week. That's what I personally do. I use a hair oil once a week, and then I also do a detox treatment with the apple cider vinegar shampoo once a week as well as I do alternate between the the Himalayan rose shampoo and conditioner and the coconut milk shampoo and conditioner. They are very similar in benefits, what they offer, those two. But I do alternate them. One, because I like the smell of coconut and I like the smell of rose, and I couldn't pick. And two, they do still have some differences in what they offer, so it's nice to have both of them in my routine. However, I know not everyone can afford to have 5 different shampoos. Uh, so if you are someone who wants to keep it on a lower budget, I would suggest having the one detox shampoo, one moisture treatment, and then one shampoo that fits your your hair type. Sorry. Now I do just want to pop over here, see if we got anything. I see a lot more people are joining. Hello, everyone. I see a Kathy in the audience as well. A Ruben. I hope I said your name correctly. That's a very unique name. But hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. And if you've missed anything so far, we're pretty much just talking about what is dull hair, what is dry hair, and what to do to help each of them. So I just kind of shared my routine there, and I would consider my hair to be a dull hair type, but it also has dry problems. Just to get back to what you can do to kind of help your dry and dull hair, is the biggest thing is, one, to get that hair care routine on track, and two, to avoid heat styling. So if you're someone who blow dries your hair, try and have it on a cool setting, or try and opt for air dry. But obviously, sometimes that just doesn't work for certain hair types, and you do need to hair blow dry it. So for that, just try and have it on the cool setting. I understand it takes a little bit longer, but your hair will honestly thank you for it. Stay away from curling wands if you can. They've come up with a whole bunch of different heat-free ways of styling your hair. I've seen one where people are taking bathrobe strings and they're putting on their heads and wrapping their hair around it to give them nice little natural looking curls. And maybe a later video I can show you some of those heat-free styling suggestions. I don't have the tools here to do them, but they are a lot of fun, and a lot of them you can sleep in them comfortably. So another thing to avoid to improve dull hair or dry hair is to try avoid hair coloring and bleaching. Excuse me. Now, we do understand that some people, they just don't like to have their natural hair color showing, whether it be because of grays or simply because you just don't like your natural hair color. So with that, I would suggest going to a professional rather than doing box dyes. So if you absolutely have to do some kind of color treatment, make sure that you are going to your hair professionals. They do know how to make sure that your hair is staying happy, healthy, and safe through that process. But a lot of the time, box dyes, they're one trick pony. They just do one thing, one thing only. They can't be specialized to your hair type, and sometimes you just don't know how to properly process it or anything like that. So it is always best just to go to a professional. Now I do just want to pop over, see if we have any other questions or anything like that. Let's see. I love everyone who's saying hello to everybody in the comments. Okay, so I do see a question here from Kathy. Do you recommend to use shampoo every day or just conditioner? So what I typically recommend is to be doing shampoo every other day at the most. And then I personally do condition every single time that I use shampoo. There are some people who need to hold back on the conditioner, but what I would recommend before cutting conditioner out of your regimen entirely is actually try and condition before you shampoo. Because I was someone who found that the conditioner was weighing my hair down too much and it was just too much for my hair type. And I started to cut it out of my routine, but then my hair got really, really dry, had so many flyaways, and it was so difficult to manage. So that was the dull hair coming back. Um, so once I reintroduced the conditioner, I found that my hair was getting too oily. So a way that I found that I can have conditioner in my routine is to put it on before I shampoo, not rinse it out, start shampooing, and then rinse out the shampoo and the conditioner at the same time. That's something that I've personally found really works as someone who struggles to have conditioner in their routine. Um, but honestly, it is totally up to you. It goes from person to person, what you find works best for you. But that's just something that I've found along the way. But I do typically recommend to be washing your hair 2 to 3 times a week. Some people get away with one, so that pans out to about every other day or less. And then every time you are shampooing, you realistically should be conditioning as well, because shampooing is getting rid of all of your natural oils that are left in your hair, and conditioning is replenishing some of those good benefits that your hair oils offer. So thank you, Kathy, for that question, and I hope I answered it fully there. If you do have any follow-ups, feel free to leave them in the comments there. Let's see, let's see. Oh no, I see that I'm frozen for some people. I hope I come back for you. If not, the video will be available after, so you will be able to watch it like on demand, I guess we could call it. So you can watch this video on demand at any time afterwards. Alrighty, so I don't see any other questions there, but definitely feel free to please leave any more as they go along. And even after the stream ends today, feel free to leave any questions and we'll be able to pop into the questions and at least answer them that way for you. Okay, so let's see, where did we leave off? Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So, just a little tip or trick that I've found with my own dull hair is less is more. So, when you're first starting out finding how to do your own hair care routine, um, start off with less product and slowly increase what you're using so that you can really find the proper amount and balance for your specific hair type, because there's some people who have super thick hair and super dry hair, and they are going to need a lot more product than someone who might have oilier hair, thin hair, because it just will slide through their hair a lot easier. So start off with less is more. One, because then you're not going to be adding to that product buildup or simple oil buildup. And then two, you're going to be able to find your own tailored perfect amount for you. So the best dull hair care routines are having a main shampoo that is for your specific hair type. For example, I typically recommend coconut milk for dry, straight hair, Moroccan argan oil for dry, curly hair, and apple cider vinegar for oily, straight, or curly hair. I could go on and on about the hair care recommendations, but that's typically what I recommend for the main shampoos for everybody. And then if you have dull hair, you're also going to be wanting a detoxing shampoo to use on occasional basis, like once a week. Some people, they stretch it a little bit further than that, but I typically recommend about once a week detox. And for that, you can use the apple cider vinegar shampoo or the activated charcoal and keratin shampoo. Both of those are great detoxers. And last but not least, you want to have a deep conditioner on standby, whether that be a leave-in conditioner, a hair mask, or a hair oil. The leave-in I typically recommend for people who need less of a condition treatment. Hair masks for when you need an overhaul. You need so much moisture treatment, you don't even know what to do. And then hair oils for people who are kind of in the middle there. And if you are someone who finds that these types of things weigh your hair down a lot, I typically recommend to do them as an overnight treatment. If you have like a shower cap or a silk or satin bonnet of some kind that you can wrap your hair in, lather it up with your hair care moisture treatment, and then wrap it up so that you can go to sleep. and not get it all over your bed. And that way you can do like a once a week moisture control treatment. And last but not least, of course, avoid heat and chemicals. Now, luckily, our products, they are all natural based ingredients in them. So you are going to be avoiding those chemicals by using BuyWOW products. So I do just want to check one last time for our questions. Let's see. Alrighty, and of course, do not forget to use that 10% discount code to get 10% off your entire order. If you did miss that earlier, it is all capital letters, no spaces. Wow, Shay, the number 10, and that'll give you 10% off your entire order. Just make sure that you are putting that in your discount code box at the checkout. It won't automatically apply. You do have to manually put it in your discount code box. Okay, so I have a question here from Uriel. I think I said your name right, but I apologize if I didn't. Um, can the activated charcoal and keratin be used with a conditioner? Absolutely. So the activated charcoal and keratin, it doesn't automatically come with a conditioner, mainly because we just don't have an activated charcoal and keratin conditioner. But it pairs greatly with so many of our other conditioners, which are available as well as independent conditioners. I personally like to pair it with the coconut milk one, but if you're someone who needs a really deep moisture treatment, then maybe go with the Moroccan argan oil conditioner, or I find that the coconut avocado conditioner is very similar to the coconut milk one. It just smells a little different, but any one of those three would work great with the activated charcoal and keratin conditioner. Thank you for your question, Uriel. Okay, let's see. Do we have any other ones before we... Okay. It doesn't look like I have any other questions, so really quick, last 10 seconds to leave your question, comment, or concern before our stream will sadly end today. We're going to have a 10-second countdown. 10, 9, 8. No, I'm not going to actually count it down, everybody. But of course, if you do have any questions that pop up into your brain later and you're like, oh, shoot, I should have asked that, still leave it in the comments. We'll still be able to see it and we'll still be able to answer your questions. It just won't be in a lovely fashion like this. And once again, if you do really enjoy these live events, but you just want them to be about topics that are important to you, definitely make sure to reach out to us using the hashtag Let's Talk with Shayna and tell us what you want to talk about in these live events. Because to be honest, they're all coming from this brain up here, and I would rather hear what you all want to talk about. I want to make this as much as possible for all of you watching. Okay, one last quick check for questions. Let's see. Okay. So it doesn't look like we have any more questions, but feel free to leave any in the comments as they come up into your brain. And once again, thank you all for watching. Please remember to use your 10% discount code, all capital letters, no spaces, WOW Shay, the number 10. And until next time, thank you for joining me on Let's Talk with Shayna. Bye, everyone.